everybody, it's Tandy the Canadian Stamper. We're going to be working on one of the gnome projects from the Kindest Gnomes class. And this is what your project kit should look like if you've joined the class and have a kit sent to you. If not, then this is the package this is the project we're gonna do. And let's get started. So I have my camera quite low today, but I'm gonna move these things aside. These are the Kindest Gnomes stamp set. They're cling stamps, and then the dies. And of course, if you don't know, a pro tip for you is I like to take a photocopy. If you have that ability to take a photocopy, so that, I don't know about you guys, but I always tend to lose my dies. I'm sloppy with them, I guess. Okay, so we've got a very vanilla base. I think you could easily do this project on a white, like a basic white card base as well. So this is just a regular A2 size. We're gonna fold into the mountain, this is the bumpy side on the inside. I have to be careful, my camera is quite close to my table because I feel like sometimes I'm a bit far away and I want you to be able to see the work I'm doing. So I don't want to be out of camera. I will be mindful. So in your kit, you're gonna have a piece of pumpkin pie, which has been embossed, and then 3 pieces of DSP. This is from, it's the, like the Father's Day set. I like these neutral colors and they go really well with the very vanilla. So I have here, this is my Stampin' Up silicone mat. I highly recommend it. We're going to be doing some gluing, and the mat keeps my work surface sticky free. I'm going to show you that in a moment. I'm just going to quickly tie my bow. This is linen thread that'll be in the kit. There's a piece of, what's the name? Crumb Cake. And then you should have pieces of designer series paper, and you will use your dies to cut all these pieces. I have obviously cut them already, so I will just lay them out, and then you can pause the video and go and do your die cutting if you haven't already. And here are 3 beards. So just to remind you what the card looks like, it's this guy here. So we've got 3 gnomes, 3 different hats. It's fall themed. And so you're gonna do 3 beards. Oh, I've got an extra nose. I don't need that. 3 noses, 3 hats, 3 feet, a couple of pieces of grass. This one here is a die cut, a punch actually, from a set last year or a couple years ago. So that should already be ready for you, or you can substitute with something that you have. And then 3 rhinestones. Those are, geez, I'm having trouble with my words today. Those are rose gold, which is a favorite. So I'm just gonna start gluing here. So you could either go ahead and pause me or listen to me ramble as you do your cutting. So on this piece, see how I put the glue? The hat's gonna rest right on those little divots. And the last one, so it doesn't really matter, you know, what order you put these hats in when you are doing your project. And, you know, you could mix and match with all kinds of different designer series paper to get a different theme. You know, you could do Christmas, Halloween, really change the hats to match the season. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add the feet. I have seen other demonstrators add I think they call them brads. They're like a little metal piece and you can stick them on your project. Pretty sure they're called brads. And I saw a demonstrator use one of them, I think she did anyways, because she had the feet moving, which I thought was so clever. I didn't go back and read her blog post to see how she put that together, but I'm guessing that it might have been with brads. Okay, so I'm going to use mini dimensionals, 3 of them, and I'm going to add the noses. So this is optional. You could certainly glue these down. You don't have to pop these up. I just thought it kind of a bit of dimension to the project. I'm gonna actually put this here so you can see the benefits of having the camera low is that you get to see, but not enough room for all the things in the camera view. Okay, so I'm just adding these, and then we'll glue our background pieces together while these dry. We'll set this aside. All right, so let's get this piece going. So make sure your card is, or your card base is facing the right way. So I'm going to add a bit of glue to the back of the pumpkin pie. So this is embossed and debossed. Usually you can tell which is the, you know, the embossed or the debossed piece, but because this embossing folder is such that it kind of does both on both sides, raised and concaved, is that the right word? Then it doesn't really matter if it's embossed or debossed. Hopefully that makes sense. Whoops. So I am lining up, it's got a very light stitch, so I'm using that to my advantage to get that straight. He's the man, maybe this paper is called. But really, any neutral tones, or even not neutral tones, depending on what kind of a theme you're rolling with. And again, just lining up with the stitches. So in the project, I have glued this down flat. So I will do the same here with my Tombow glue. Use whichever one you're comfortable with. If you use your tape runner, you might have to let those pieces dry a bit. So these pieces, oh geez, I should measure these for you, sorry. So let's go. The piece of orange, if you have a pen or a pencil, is 5.5 by 2. And then the strips are 5.5, and I think they're 3/4. Yep, 3/4. So 5.5 by 3/4 times 2. And that'll be the same for this one. Oh, I lied to you. This one should have been 3/4, but it's not, it's just shy of that. And then 5.5 this way. So I'm gonna glue this one down flat, right in the middle. And then our stars of the card will come in. Actually, let's do our sentiment. So I'm going to use pumpkin pie, and I'm going to use your kindness does not go unnoticed. This one. So I have here our piece of crumb cake. Now, because these are cling stamps, I don't need my squishy mat because it's got, you know, the squishiness built in. but if you want to use your mat, then go ahead and do that. Straight up, straight down. Tap, tap gentle on your ink pad. And that's it for inking on this one, guys. So on this project, I used a punch. It's this one here. It's called Banner's Pick a Punch. So I will do the same, and I've used this one here. You could certainly freehand flagging it. Totally possible. Just gonna guess. Hopefully I cut this properly. Oh yeah, I was worried that it might go into the writing, but it didn't. Make sure I got the right side. So I'm lining this right up against this piece, and then I'm lining it up so that it's straight, so that the point is in the center of my paper. Hopefully that makes sense. And there's our piece. Sweet. So now let's get our gnomes going. I'm gonna put these ones up on dimensionals. You can decide how you want, I think I'm gonna use 3 dimensionals. You can decide how you want your gnome, like what order you want them to go in on the card. And you can also, if you want them, I was going to say if you want to copy this or not, but I'm actually going to switch it up because I like to start with the gnome right in the middle so that I can, if I was to start here, I might not have enough room. So if you start in the middle, I just eyeball it. And I'm lining his feet up with the base of here. So similar to this one. Perfect. Then let's go orange. So if you're watching this later on in the future, after the class, feel free to post a photo of your project. Love to see your projects, either these ones that you've created or if you have different ones that you've made and you want to share. Love various inspiration. So I don't know if you can see it. Oh no, you can't. On here, I have a little tabletop garbage. So since you're on YouTube, I have in my YouTube library a little, little video on how to make this from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. All right, so for the sentiment, you could, if you wanted, put a couple of dimensionals here and here. It's not necessary. I am just gonna add a little bit of glue here in the middle, and then I'm gonna glue this down. But you could certainly add more dimensionals if you wish. I'm gonna just sneak a little dot under here on both sides to hold down the flaps. Gosh, they're so cute. All right, so now our little ribbon, you should get your glue dots if you have any, and our pieces of grass, just to add some depth to the project. It's gonna go here. So in the die set, you've got two that look, one die, or maybe there's 2 dies, but they're the same, and I wanted it to be the opposite. So it depends if you see how this is ridges going in and then this one is not. So if that bothers you, you might, switch it up. It doesn't bother me because I'm also going to take this little doodad and put it right over with a glue dot. So you can't really tell, unless you're looking really closely at it, nobody's gonna know. Nobody will know. Go on there, perfect. So then we have our little leaf, which I'm gonna tuck here. So this is nice because pumpkin pie here, here, and here. And then of course the ink as well, which is lovely. So I'm going to take your pick tool, the putty end, and I'm pressing down, and then I'm pulling it off. So then it's here. And I will just follow what I did on the sample card. So I'm pressing it down and then I roll this off. And then sometimes I just sort of, I don't know what I do. I just make it sort of like it's got a divot. So then I just make it puffy again. Puffy, that's the word. Okay, that's it. First project is done. 2 gnome cards. Love it. See you at the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.